Well, hello, my beautiful, sensitive people. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Well, things are changing. As you know, there is civil war right now in the Republican Party. And Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden are in the middle of a love fest down at that bridge in Kentucky. I guess it joins Kentucky and Ohio. I can't remember the name of the bridge right now, but evidently they've come together. They're singing Kumbaya. And what do you think the message is to the House right now? When you see Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell hugging, slapping each other on the shoulder, and singing Kumbaya together, what do you think the message is? The message is that they want cooperation and that they want a moderate. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker of the House, but hey, given how crazy things are, it's possible at this point. The message is very clear from GOP leadership. It's time to come together, pick a moderate, and cut the head off the beast. So what do you think Mitch McConnell is doing right now by getting together with Joe Biden at the base of the bridge in Kentucky? He is cutting the head off the MAGA beast, something he should have done years ago. So then the next question we have to ask ourselves is, how do you think the MAGA people are feeling right now that are in the House that are watching this unfold? Probably not very good. They probably see the writing on the wall and they know where they are headed. They're headed to jail. They're going to be prosecuted. Expect major changes by the 7th. I said a lot of activity between the 3rd and the 7th, and boy, the House has not disappointed us. I'm going to do the impasse prayer. I think you'll all enjoy that. And then after we do the impasse prayer, we're going to take a look at the House, and I am going to use the cards. We have wrapped up for this quarter heart-centered remote viewing. Next week, we will be starting another series of 10 lectures. They're never exactly the same. If it turns out that it's the same students as last quarter, then I'm not going to repeat old stuff. I want to get more into helping students learn how to map and get into deep trance state. So we're going to be progressing a little bit next quarter because I feel the class has gotten a little stale and I've got the same core group of students. So I want to mix things up a little bit next week for the HCRV class. So let's go ahead. We're going to do the impasse prayer, and let's just peek into the House. Let's take a look at Kevin McCarthy. Let's take a look at Hakeem Jeffries, and let's take a look at Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden and their recent love fest. Sound good? All right, let's do it. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. Let's take a look, shall we? We're looking now at what's going to be happening in the House of Representatives. This is just a general look. You want to join us, Mila? See my cat playing. It's good to hang with you, people. It's good to hang with you. I know you're angry. The prediction was made 3 years ago, and people were screaming at me. When's he going to do it? He did it today. Mitch did it today. Began cutting the head off that beast. The writing is on the wall for MAGA, and they are scared out of their wits. I see strong leadership both in the Republican side and also in the Democratic side. But there's resistance. King of Swords is a card that is the Ice King. It's resistant, it's cold, it's frigid. But you also have the Karma card of the Queen of Wands. Now, different people interpret the Queen of Wands in different ways. I tend to look at the Queen of Wands more from the African tradition because I feel the oldest reference to this deity is actually about 8,000 years old, and that is the goddess Oshun. And the reason why I use that as the archetype for the Queen of Rods is because Oshun, her colors are yellow and orange. She also, her number is 5, and she is also associated with the sunflower. She is easily offended, but what offends Oshun more than anything else is injustice. She is fire, she is passion, she is the consort of Chango, who is typified by justice, and we see him as the King of Wands. So she seeks justice absolute. And if Oshun doesn't get what she wants, she is out of there. So we have this fiery, passionate, feminine energy, or the Kundalini energy, rising, and it melts the frigidity that we see, this frigid energy we see over the house. The first card we see in the first house is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups woos, it seduces. And when you add heat to ice, it melts and becomes water. So you see the nice juxtaposition of the elements. King of Swords we call the Ice King, but it's also typified by the element metal. And in the African tradition, it's Ogun, the worker. He is associated with work, and his relationship actually historically with the goddess Oshun is considered very sacred. He bows to her in the end. He worships her. So Knight of Cups comes in, a desire to get the Democrats to kind of come over to our side, our side. You have some Republicans, I think it's something like 9 Republicans who are more left. They tend to sometimes sway over to the Democratic side, something like 9. But you can see the sun coming out over this issue of wooing and seduction. There's also a sacred card, the Hierophant, which is the ethos. When I look to the government as the ethos, I think of the Hierophant as the Constitution of the United States. So it stands in the 4th house. It is what is above us. And we can see entering into, within the next couple of days, 6 of Cups, which again is a card of seduction, to pull us in, to return back to the good old days. There's a desire here to come up with a working budget. 7 of Pentacles. The guarantee that the Democrats want is that they want this nonsense to come to an end, where they're going to start this committee to investigate and impeach Biden and Hunter, etc. What I'm hearing from the Queen of Wands, this must be Nancy Pelosi channeling this, is that they need to stop the nonsense with all these crazy, we're going to get back at the Democrats. All that needs to come to an end. All those crazy committees and all those crazy committee assignments, because if they don't do that, the Democrats are not going to play with them. Hakeem Jeffries presents as the King of Cups. He is willing to work with anyone. He's kind of sitting back and watching the situation from a place of amusement. And we have a power card here, the Magician, as the final outcome. I see the Republicans desperate to do a deal. First off, you have Archangel Raphael moving in. You have the Democrats being defensive and frightened that they're going to be pulled into something that's not true. The takeaway here is that the only way that they're going to get to peace is if they pick a moderate, cut the head off the beast, get rid of the 20 people who are going to be going to jail anyway, take a hint from Mitch McConnell that now is the time to reach across the aisle, do away with these crazy committees that are threatening to go after Hunter and Biden and everybody else. That is the only way they're going to get Democratic votes. All right, I just now want to quickly look into Mitch McConnell and what he's planning to do in order to get rid of the MAGA party, which is obviously what he's trying to do at this point. And you can see them running scared. They know what's coming. They fear for their life, they fear for their safety, and they fear that their own party is not going to protect them from prosecution. And that means no longer funding any legal cases that could be happening in the future. Boebert is scared. What Boebert is worried about, they're worried, her and Gates, these are two people that want pardons. Probably Jim Jordan too, I would think. They are, but Gates is, these people are afraid they're going to jail. And as you know, Jack Smith is back in the United States, and we're going to start seeing prosecutions soon. Where Mitch McConnell is at, he feels that he has no choice but to work with the Democrats. His karma card is the Eight of Swords. He has put himself in this situation, tied himself with knots, and he feels that he is losing power. And you can see here Seven of Wands. He's losing territory. He's lost the Senate, and the House is in complete chaos. So he has no choice. He has put himself in this situation. They're still whispering and gossiping back and forth. This is what I told you before about what was happening with the Republicans. They're gossiping, they're talking back and forth. But the MAGA party is a cancer. That is basically how Mitch McConnell is looking at it. On some level, he knew he was doing a dirty deed by working with them, but it's in the grave. He has a lot of respect for Nancy Pelosi. You can see he has almost an admiration for her because she gets the job done and she doesn't back down. But Mitch McConnell has a Five of Swords in his near future. He has to walk away from some of the things he built. He has to reach across the aisle because the days of Trump are over, and the final outcome for him is Six of Cups, which is it's more interesting for him to make a deal. And from his perspective, he's going to have to make a lot of compromises because the old ways are gone. And we can see this stabilizing within the next 3 months. So within the next 3 months, we're going to see a much more stable government. We're going to see the House being far more moderate. We're not going to see the same extremism. Again, give it 3 months. And we're going to see the MAGA people in the House probably removed. I would say even less than 3 months. All right, that is my quick reading for the night. I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the popcorn. I have a feeling that this is probably going to be coming to an end. It's not going to drag on for too long because I think it's very obvious what Mitch McConnell and Republican leadership is saying. They're going to get rid of the extremist. They're going to reach across the aisle. They're going to pick a moderate. They're going to have to work with the Democrats and even put the Democrats on some committees, and they're going to have to bury this fantasy of going after Biden and his kids. All right, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to all of those people who have recently become members. Thank you also to the Patreon community, and we'll see you next time. Be well. Bye-bye.